afternoon. I'd like to extend a warm welcome to everyone for joining our How to File Your Sales Tax Return webinar. My name is Sarah Carlson, and I am from the Department of Taxation and Finance. I will be walking you through today's presentation. Today's webinar is being recorded, and we will post this recording to our website in the coming weeks, so please stay tuned for that. The webinar will be conducted in the following format. Attendees will be placed on mute, but you will be able to hear the speakers. The panelists on today's webinar are sales tax experts and are here to answer your sales tax questions through the Q&A feature on your screen. You can ask questions using the Q&A field in the lower right area of the webinar screen. To ask a question, type your question in the box, then select Send. If the Q&A field isn't visible when you first join the webinar, click on the down arrow next to Q&A. We will be capturing all questions that we receive during this presentation, and based on the amount of time that we have at the conclusion of this presentation, we may be able to answer a few technical questions. Now I will provide an overview of today's agenda. Today I will start with a high-level overview of sales tax, highlighting your responsibilities as a sales tax vendor. I will go over resources available on our website, www.tax.ny.gov, to demonstrate how you can use our website to answer many of your frequently asked questions on how to file a sales tax return, as well as general sales tax information. I'll also review how to create and use a business online services account, and then I will provide you with sales tax filings, tips, and reminders. In this next section, I will provide you with a high-level sales tax overview. When we issue you a sales tax certificate of authority, or as some of you call it, a C of A, we trust that you'll follow through on the responsibilities outlined in the New York State tax law and collect and remit state and local taxes in trust to New York State. If you don't, there can be serious consequences for you personally and for your business. So what are sales tax fiduciary responsibilities? If you, in New York State, make taxable sales of tangible personal property, perform any taxable services, sell food or drink, receive amusement charges, or operate a hotel or motel, you must register for sales tax purposes and obtain a certificate of authority. Once you receive your sales tax certificate of authority, you must display it at your place of business. If you have more than one location, display a certificate at each location with the appropriate address corresponding to that location. As a registered sales tax vendor, you must keep accurate and complete records of all sales and purchases that you make. This includes sales receipts, receipts subject to sales tax, and details of individual transactions. You must keep records and supporting documents for at least 3 years after you file a return. Truthfully account for sales. What does this mean for you? You must be able to account for the amount paid, charged, or due on the sale or other transaction, along with any subsequent return or credit information related to the sale or transaction. Make sure you account for the sales tax due, if any, on the sale or other transaction. Keep a copy of any written sales slip, invoice, receipt, or other evidence of the price, amusement charge, or hotel or motel rent that you gave your customer. Keep a daily record of all cash, debit, and credit sales or other transactions. And for sales tax purposes in New York State, it's all about location, location, location. Make sure you know the location where the sale or other transaction was made, or if applicable, where the delivery was made. Now that you have documented and accounted for the tax, once you collect it, remit the taxes due on behalf of New York State. File accurate and complete returns on time. And if you receive correspondence from us asking for additional information, it's important that you respond by the date printed on the notice, answer any questions, and provide additional information. So what do we expect from you when you have a certificate of authority? You must file a return even if you did not have business activity and did not collect any sales tax. This is the #1 reason people give for why they didn't file their sales tax return. As you can see here, even if you did not have any business activity or collect any sales tax, you still must file a return. Returns must be filed on time and paid in full. Annual and quarterly filers are entitled to a vendor collection credit of up to $200 when filing and paying on time. Failure to comply can result in interest and penalties. All new vendors must file quarterly returns. In addition, vendors with sales tax collected over $3,000 and vendors with taxable sales under $300,000 must continue to file quarterly. What form do you use as a quarterly filer? Within the sales tax web application, you will select Quarterly Sales and Use Tax Return, or ST100. Your return is due 20 days after the end of the filing period, also known as the liability period, unless the 20th falls on a weekend or holiday. If the 20th falls on a weekend or holiday, your return is due the next business day. You should know that you don't have to wait for the return due date to file. You can file early and you can schedule your payment up until the due date. You can also make intermittent payments throughout the liability period using the Sales Tax Advance Payment web application. In this next section, I will provide you with resources available on our website. Welcome to our website at www.tax.ny.gov. There are several ways to find what you're looking for on our website. You can navigate using our banner, menus, and home pages. Type a keyword into the search tax box. Use the sitemap in the footer, and click on the links we provide to you in our reminder or subscription service emails. We automatically send reminders to the email address associated with your business's online services account that ask you to log in and review messages in your OLS message center. To easily navigate to Sales Tax Online Services content, select Online Services in the main menu. Or if you're ready to log in, select Login in the upper right-hand corner of the page. Sales Tax Web File is also featured on our homepage year-round. Another resource for you is our Sales Tax homepage. From the main menu of our website, select Businesses. From the drop-down menu, select Sales and Use Tax. Our Sales Tax homepage has helpful information on how to file and pay, taxable and exempt sales, best business practices, publications and guidance, and more. You can also access information on popular sales tax topics. From the drop-down menu on the left side, select the topic you're looking for, which will be sales tax. You can see helpful sales tax links, including Sales Tax Web File, forms, tax rates, and register as a sales tax vendor. We also have a Welcome New Vendors page with resources just for you. If you haven't already received a welcome email with a link to this page, don't worry. You can type welcome in the search tax box as your go-to place for sales tax information. This webpage has helpful guidance on vendor obligations, what is taxable and how much sales tax to collect, and links to additional information such as guidance by specific industries, vendors selling or purchasing existing businesses, also known as bulk sales, sales tax credits, and exemption certificates, and much more. You can use the search box on our website to assist you. Simply input the term in the search box here. Here are some keywords to help guide you. Demos are video walkthroughs that can assist you with different services on our website, such as how to create an online services account or how to file a no tax due return. To look for sales tax guidance written with you in mind, type bulletin or publication. When using the search box on our website, our top recommendations display the content you frequently search for right at the top, so you don't have to scroll through search results. And we use the same terms taxpayers type into our search box. For example, if you're looking for sales tax guidance by a specific industry or business, you can search those terms. Examples include salon or landscaping. If you think we missed something, let us know. There are feedback surveys in the footer for every application and for our website and call center. Next, I will show you the tool that you can use to determine the sales tax rate for a specific location or address. You can use the Jurisdiction Rate Lookup by Address tool to determine the sales tax rate for a specific location or address. New York's retail sales tax is a destination tax. The point of delivery, or the point at which possession is transferred by the seller to the purchaser, determines the rate of tax to be collected. This means the rate can change depending on location. There are various sales tax rates and various types of jurisdictions. The combined sales and use tax rate equals the 4% state rate plus any local tax imposed by a city, county, or school district. An additional sales tax rate of 0.375% applies to the taxable sales made within the Metropolitan Commuter Transportation District, or MCTD. New York City and the counties of Dutchess, Nassau, Orange, Putnam, Rockland, Suffolk, and Westchester are in this district. The combined rates vary in each county and city that impose sales tax. Sales delivered outside New York State are exempt from tax. Since there are various types of jurisdictions, you can look them up here. So how do you search for your jurisdiction rate? The first screen takes you to the security check. You enter the security code that is displayed. It will be different each time that you access this page. When you finish, select Continue. Now that you are on the jurisdiction rate lookup by address screen, make sure you look at the instruction links. On this page, you will select the sales tax jurisdiction and rate dropdown option. This is a tool that you can use to find what sales tax rate to charge your customer. The lookup provides the combined state and local sales tax rate, proper jurisdiction, and jurisdiction code for an address, and the sales tax jurisdiction, jurisdiction code, and tax rate on sales or purchases of utilities. Next, select Lookup by Address and enter the street address and zip code. Once you have entered the address, a date of transaction field will populate. The date of the sale is important because tax rates can change. In the sales tax details section, you'll be able to see the taxing jurisdiction based on the address that you provided. This information is important for when you add specific jurisdictions to your quarterly sales tax return. Remember, this rate is based on where the product or service was sold or delivered. On the right side, you will see the tax rate you will collect on behalf of New York State and remit with your return. Remember, this rate is based on where the product or service was sold or delivered. For example, if your customer walks into your store and purchases a product, your physical location is Albany County, you charge them Albany County's sales tax rate. When your customer comes into the store, purchases a product, and wants it delivered to Saratoga County, you would charge the sales tax rate for Saratoga County. Now that I have covered the basic navigation techniques of the Department of Taxation and Finance's website, now I'll show you how to create a business online services account. Located in the top right corner of the homepage, you'll see Create Account link. Select this to move forward. You will arrive at this page, Create an Online Services Account. Review the Business Account section, including the information necessary to create your account. When you are ready to create your account, select Create Business Account. All sales tax vendors need to create a business online services account, even if you're a sole proprietor. Individual accounts are for personal income tax returns and do not provide access to the sales tax web file options. Next, enter the security code in the box and select Continue. Now that you are on the business account creation page, select All Available Services. This grants you access to view and pay bills, file your returns online, and allows us to communicate with you. After selecting All Available Services, you'll be asked if you received a 5-digit PIN. We mailed you this PIN shortly after your Certificate of Authority to collect sales tax was approved. This PIN is only good for 90 days. When finished, select Continue. If you don't have a PIN, that is okay. We'll need to verify your identity with additional questions. But for now, we'll move forward as if we do have our 5-digit PIN. On the business verification page, you must then enter your taxpayer ID number. You can find this on your Certificate of Authority. When you're inputting information, don't include any dashes or spaces. Then enter your 5-digit PIN and select Continue. At this point, you'll be asked to provide your contact information, including your name, email address, and phone number. You will also be asked to create a username and password. Once you've completed this step, your computer or web browser may ask if you'd like to save your username or password. We recommend that you say no for security purposes. Next, I will provide you with some helpful hints to avoid some common issues using our online services accounts. If you forgot your username or password, use the Forgot Username or Password links found on the login homepage, but we recommend that you do not bookmark this page. How do you know that you are logged in? You want to make sure that you're creating and logging into a business online services account and not a personal account. You can verify that you are in the correct account by looking at the name and ID number in parentheses on your account summary homepage. As you can see in this example, ABC Corporation is a business account and will show your legal business name for which you are a sole proprietor. And if you are a sole proprietor, this will be your personal name followed by the taxpayer ID number for your business. A personal account will show your social security number, and you won't have access to the sales tax web file options that we are about to show you. As you can see here, Jane Doe is the personal account. Some people have more than one online services account. One may be for personal use and the other for business. If you find that you have logged into the wrong account, You'll need to fully log out of those credentials and then open a new window. To log out of the account, click on your name in the top right corner. The last option in the dropdown will be Log Out. Once the logout is complete, close the browser window and open a new browser window. Don't click on any saved favorite website links. Remember, logging out is important for many reasons, but primarily it protects your information. If you're having trouble creating your business online services account or with logging in, go to our website, tax.ny.gov, and search troubleshooting for helpful tips. In this next segment, I will cover how to navigate the account summary page. This is the home page you'll see once you've logged into your business account. When you first log into your account, the main page will display account messages. This is where you can see confirmation of previous filings, reminders for upcoming filings, and notifications of delinquent filings. In the top right corner, you'll see your name, and if you select that, a drop-down menu will appear. In this example, the user's name is Jane Smith. Once the drop-down populates, under Preferences, you can set up your email notification preferences, update your personal contact information, or log out of your account. If you select that you want to update your email notifications, you'll see the next page. On the electronic communications page, you can choose to sign up for emails about your bills and related notices, or about filings, payments, and account adjustments. If you choose to do so, you will no longer receive these communications via physical mail. Once you've decided which notifications you would like to receive, select Save. In this next segment, I will show you how to file your sales tax return. First, I encourage you to check out our full-length demos for more information. Go to our website, www.tax.ny.gov, and search the term Demos. You'll be able to find the following: Sales Tax Web File Jurisdictional Credits, Sales Tax Web File 1 Schedule, and Sales Tax Web File No Tax Due. So how do you begin your sales tax filing? You already learned how to log into your Business Online Services account. Once you are in your Business Online Services account, select the Services icon. A side panel will then open for you to make a selection. From the Services menu, select Sales Tax, File, and Pay. Then under the Sales Tax, File, and Pay, you select Sales Tax Web File. A tip for you is that on the top of every page within the Sales Tax Web File application, there are instructions about the current page. There are also links that open to instructional pages to provide more information. As you can see here, you can select Sales Tax Information Center or Sales Tax Return if you need to get more information. Another tip when you are filing your sales tax return is that next to almost every field, there are blue question marks to select for more guidance. As you can see here, if you don't know what gross sales means, you can select the blue question mark next to gross sales. In the box, there is an explanation of gross sales, which includes all taxable, non-taxable, and exempt sales made during the reporting period. In the box, you are instructed not to include sales tax when computing gross sales. You can then click on the instructional link for more information. This is the questionnaire page where you will be required to complete information about whether you want to manually enter data, gross sales, and non-taxable sales. Next, to continue with your filing and to enter your taxable sales in the correct jurisdiction, select the main form link. As you can see, there is a red circle with a line through it which indicates that the main form has not been completed. On the next page, you will be instructed to add a jurisdiction. Earlier, we spoke about jurisdictions being the counties, cities, or school districts that you do business in. The section named Jurisdiction Summary will list jurisdictions for which you have filed in the past. Since you have not previously filed, you can add a new jurisdiction by choosing it from the drop-down menu and selecting Add. Next, you will add a jurisdiction for each area that you make sales in. If you have more than one, you'll need to add each jurisdiction one by one. As you can see here, sometimes jurisdictions are cities or even New York State only. You'll use the jurisdiction that applies to you and select Add. For this example, we've chosen Albany County. Now that we know how to add a jurisdiction, I'll show you how to open each row to input your sales tax information for the liability period. Going forward, the jurisdiction that you have selected will be saved and displayed for future filings. If you no longer conduct business in a certain area, or you are conducting business in a new area, you can add or delete as needed. To remove a jurisdiction, check the corresponding box to the left of its name and select Remove. Now you will add your sales information to the jurisdiction. Select the triangle icon next to the name of the taxing jurisdiction to display the data entry fields and begin entering data. New fields will open with taxable sales, credits against taxable sales, purchases, and credits against purchases. Enter the information that applies to you. For more information about credits, select the blue icons, which we referred to before as I-tags, or the blue question marks. Now that you have completed entering your information, you will select Calculate. Now that you are done calculating, you will see the totals. To continue your filing, select Continue. If you answered yes to one of the special taxes and fees questions on the questionnaire page, you will be navigated to this page. In this example, the Did you collect tax on vapor products question was answered yes. You'll then enter the information that applies to you. Remember when we started, there was a red circle because your main form was not completed. Now there is a green check mark to indicate the main form has been completed. This does not mean that your return has been filed. It is important to select Continue. You will need to remember that your main form has not been completed, but you will still need to pay and submit. So how do you pay? You will need to pay the tax due from your checking account. Next, select account type. We recommend that you use a business checking account. You have the option to save your account information for the next time you file and pay. When you're finished, select Continue. Now you can verify that all of your information is correct. If you need to make any changes, select Edit. Once you have verified your filing information and payment details, select Submit. This will bring you to the transaction confirmation page. This is where you will find your confirmation number, as you can see in the highlighted box. You may print a copy of this page for your records by selecting Print, which will open a new tab or window depending on which browser you are using. You may also print or save a PDF copy of your filing by selecting the View or Print forms. Should you have an issue trying to print your return after you submit it, don't worry. You can always come back later and print one from your online services account summary pages. I'll show you how, but first, make sure to close the sales tax web file application window that opened. Please note that closing the sales tax web file application will not log you out of your online services account. If you've completed your filing and have no further New York State online services to conduct, you will return to your account summary homepage and you can log out from there. Under your account summary page, select Web File Confirmation Message under the Account Messages section. In this example, you are selecting the one for the date you just filed. Now a pop-up with limited filing details such as confirmation number, filing period, form type, and payment amount will display. Select View to see a printable version of your return. Another way to print a copy of your sales tax return is in the Filing and Payment section. Select Sales Tax. Now that you have selected sales tax, remember your ST100 is your quarterly sales tax filing form. Select the arrow next to the ST100, which will display a link where you can view or print your return. Your account summary will display the last 5 filing periods. Next, we'd like to highlight some tips using our sales tax web file application. Utilize the instructional links on the top of every page. When in doubt, select the I tags next to all applicable fields. Gross sales is all taxable, non-taxable, and exempt sales made from your New York State location and from your locations outside of New York State delivered into the state. Gross sales should not include the sales tax you collect. Be sure to select the main form link on the return summary to enter your taxable sales. Report taxable sales on the jurisdiction where each sale was made. Remember, sales tax is a destination tax. It's okay to print before you submit, but make sure you submit it afterwards. To know you have successfully submitted your filing, you will receive a confirmation number that starts with SW. Next, we'd like to highlight some important sales tax filing reminders. You must file your sales and use tax return by the due date, even if your business did not make any taxable sales or purchases during the reporting period. Read the notice carefully and respond by the date noted on the letter. Responding online is the fastest, easiest way to resolve an issue. If you close your New York business, or if your out-of-state business is no longer conducting business in New York State, you must file a final sales tax return and destroy your certificate of authority. Visit our website at www.tax.ny.gov and search CLOSE for a checklist to help you comply with New York State filing requirements. Thank you, everyone, for participating in today's webinar. I hope that you found this useful. So what do you do next? Log into your business online services account, sign up to receive certain notices electronically instead of physical mail. You can view your notices anytime from any device. On our webinar landing page, you'll be able to find a recording of this webinar along with other resources and information to assist you. Our website also has many resources that we discussed today. Demos are video walkthroughs that can assist you with different services on our website, such as how to create an online services account or how to file a no tax due return. We also have sales tax guidance that you can find. And remember, in New York State, sales tax is all about location. So we have the jurisdiction rate tool to assist you to determine where the product was sold or delivered. And remember to file and submit your return. And finally, for additional questions, you can contact the department at 518-485-2889. And once again, thank you for attending our How to File Your Sales Tax Return webinar today.